Hi, in our last video we talked about the basic concepts of Bernoulli and binomial distribution. Today we'll be talking about the constants of a binomial distribution. So let's start. First of all, let's see what is a binomial distribution. We'll just state the formula here. We've already discussed it in detail in our last video. So we already know that probability that x is equal to r is simply equal to NCR, that is the combination of r successes out of n successes into p to the power r and q to the power n minus r, where n is the total number of trials, p is the p is the probability that represents the number of successes, and r is the number of successes, right? So where p and n are the parameters of the binomial distribution. So let's start with mean. So we all know that mean is somewhere like aggregate, average. So that is simply represented by mu, which is equal to NP, right? We already know that we have already seen in Bernoulli distribution that mu was equal to P. But now since it's a binomial distribution and we are making it n times, so we are multiplying it by NP, right? So this is multiplying by n, and this gives us mu is equal to NP. Next is variance. Then we'll return to standard deviation. So variance is simply NPQ. See, for Bernoulli distribution it's PQ, and we know that all the basically all our trials are independent to each other. Therefore, we are simply adding them and we are getting NPQ. Right? We are not discussing the derivations over here in detail, but generally we know what exactly is a variance, so we can easily derive these formulas. So this is equal to NPQ. But we also know that the standard deviation is simply square root of the variance. So that is square root of NPQ. So this is the formula for standard deviation. This is for the variance. Now two important points that we need to note for mean and variance. First of all, mean of a random variable for a binomial distribution is always greater than the variance. See, variance is simply NPQ, right? On the other hand, mean is NP. Now we know that q is basically a fraction, that is, it is greater than equal to 0 but less than equal to 1, and whenever we are multiplying a number or a fraction by another fraction, that fraction of the number reduces. So again, this NPQ is always smaller than NP. Therefore, variance is always less than mean for a binomial random variable. Right? Point number 2. Variance of a binomial distribution cannot exceed n by 4. Right? Variance of a binomial distribution will never exceed n by 4. Although we have a lot of, you can easily check this out by simply maximizing the variance and find out that what is the highest value of the variance, and you get it that is n by 4. But otherwise also generally you can say that okay, if you take example p is equal to q is equal to half, right? So in that case variance is simply n into half, that is simply n by 4, right? Now if you take another value of p, let's suppose p is 1 by 4, q is 3 by 4. So in this case the variance becomes n into 1 by 4 into 3 by 4, that is n into 3 by 16. And we all know this 3 by 16 is definitely less than 1 by 4. So anytime whatever combinations of p and q you take, basically this will never exceed n by 4. Right? So now let's talk about the moments about the mean. First of all, we all know that moments about mean is represented by, basically, we all know that these moments are represented by summation x minus x bar, that is the average, to the power r upon n, right? This r you can also take it as any other symbol a, where you are saying okay, so this is represented by mu a, that is the moment about mean is represented like this. So when it's mu 1, it is summation x minus x bar to the power 1 upon n, right? So that way this is our first moment about the mean is mu 1 is equal to 0. Second moment, we all know that it is always the variance, so it is NPQ. Third moment about the mean is NPQ into Q minus P. And the fourth moment is 3n square P square Q square plus NPQ into 1 minus 6PQ. Although this third moment and fourth moments are not really that important from exam point of view, but yes, still you need to cover them up. Now let's move on to moment coefficient of kurtosis. So basically moment coefficient of kurtosis, over here we know that we already know it's represented by beta 2 and gamma 2. So beta 2 is simply 3 plus 1 minus 6PQ upon NPQ. This is the simple formula for beta 2 coefficient. And we have another coefficient, that is gamma 2 coefficient. And gamma 2 coefficient is simply beta 2 minus 3. So this becomes 1 minus 6PQ upon NPQ. Right? So now since we have this, so basically now how will we check what kind of a curve it is? See, whenever gamma 2 is equal to 0, we all know it is a mesokurtic curve. Right? Whenever gamma 2 is greater than 0, this is a leptokurtic curve. And if gamma 2 is less than 0, then this is a platykurtic curve. So after finding out the value for the gamma, we can simply compare them up with 0. So last constant of the binomial distribution, that is moment coefficient of skewness. So now moment coefficient of skewness, we all know this tells us about the tail of the distribution. On the other hand, kurtosis used to tell us about the peak of the distribution. So now for a moment coefficient of skewness, we know that we have two factors, beta 1 and gamma 1. So beta 1 is equal to Q minus P whole square upon NPQ. On the other hand, gamma 1 is equal to Q minus P upon square root of NPQ. Why? Because gamma 1 is simply equal to square root of beta 1. Right? So this is basically our gamma 1 and beta 1. Now again, if we want to compare them up, we already know that is gamma 1 is equal to 0. Then this means that the distribution is symmetric. If gamma 1 is greater than 0, then we know that the skewness is positive. On the other hand, if gamma 1 is less than 0, we know that it is a negative skewness, or the distribution is negatively skewed. Right? So simply just by comparing gammas, we can find out what is the symmetry, how symmetric is the distribution, and just by comparing our gamma 2, we can compare the peakness of the distribution. Also, this kurtosis tells us a little bit idea about the tails, because it's obviously related to the peakness. So, but that is altogether different thing we have already discussed in kurtosis. So here we'll specifically talk about binomial distributions. So one important point before moving further, that the moment coefficient of skewness is 0 provided, basically that is the distribution is skewness, symmetric, only if P is equal to Q is equal to half. So in this case our distribution is symmetric, or gamma 1 is equal to 0, because we all know that P is equal to Q from here, and since P is equal to Q, that is only possible when both are half, because P plus Q is always equal to 1. Right? So in this case, we clearly know that the binomial distribution is symmetric. Further, it is positively skewed. That is, gamma 1 is greater than 0. When it is possible, it is possible when, see, we all know that this is a positive number. So if this is a positive number, so Q minus P must be greater than 0. So that is, Q is greater than P. So whenever Q is greater than P, or Q minus P is greater than 0, in that case it is a positively skewed distribution. Also, you can find one more distribution, one more formula from it. So let's add P on both sides. So this is Q plus P is greater than P plus P. I am adding P on both sides to this part. This gives us 1 is greater than 2P. Therefore, 1 minus 2P is greater than 0. This formula can also be used. Similarly, gamma 1 is less than 0. That is negatively skewed if Q is less than P, or Q minus P is less than 0, Or using this relation, again this sign will interchange, because over here this is interchanged. So basically this becomes 1 minus 2p is less than 0. Right? Thus we have these particular formulas. Or we can also say like this, that this formula implies p is less than half, and this implies p is greater than half. So we can use any of the formula to check the symmetricity of the data or the skewness of the data. Right? So now let's move towards the example. We have taken a very basic example where we are saying of a binomial distribution, the probability of a defective item is 1 by 10 in a total of 400 items. So we are saying the probability of a defective item is 1 by 10 in a total of 400 items. Now let's see what the question asks us: the mean, the variance, moment coefficient of skewness and kurtosis of the distribution. So from this, what can we say? We can first of all simply say that n is equal to 400. This is the first parameter for binomial distribution, we all know. Second parameter is about the probability of success, that is clearly 1 by 10. Now if this is 1 by 10, then q is simply 1 minus 1 by 10. Why? Because this is equal to 1 minus p, which is equal to 9 by 10. So now by this we have got all our required values. Now let's start solving the question. Question number 1 talks about the mean. Now we know mean is simply equal to n into p, right? As we can see over here, this is mu is equal to np. So this is equal to n 400 into p, that is 1 by 10. So this is equal to 40, right? So on an average, basically 40 items are defective out of 400 items. So next is variance. Variance, we all know how is it represented. It is represented by n into p into q. We have already seen this in the formulas over here, like this, right? So now this is equal to, so now for this n is 400, p is 1 by 10 and q is 9 by 10. So this simply becomes 36. So now third question, which talks about the moment coefficient of skewness. Now we know that the moment coefficient of skewness is represented by basically our gamma 1. So gamma 1 is equal to q minus p upon square root of npq. See, I have got this formula from here. Q minus p upon square root of npq. So now putting in the values, this becomes 9 by 10 minus 1 by 10 upon square root of 400 into 1 by 10 into 9 by 10. So now solving this out, this becomes 8 by 10 upon, this is square root of 36. So this is simply our 6. So what does it become? This becomes 8 upon 60, or simply 2 by 15. Now how do we know whether basically this whether it is symmetric, it is negatively skewed or positively skewed? We have already seen here. We need to compare this with 0. So whenever it is greater than 0, this is a positively skewed distribution. So it's now over here, it's a positively skewed, right? So now fourth part, kurtosis of a distribution. So kurtosis, we all know it is represented by gamma 2, right? So first of all, let's okay, so what is gamma 2? We can see it from here. This is a gamma 2, 1 minus 6pq upon npq. So this is 1 minus 6pq upon n into p into q, right? So now before putting in the values, let's first write down what are the values. So values we know is n is equal to 400, right? From here, p is equal to 1 by 10, q is equal to 9 by 10. So p is equal to 1 by 10 and q is equal to 9 by 10. We've already written all the values. Let's put them in. 1 minus 6 into P is 1 by 10. Q is 9 by 10 upon NPQ. So this is 400 into 1 by 10 into 9 by 10, right? So now we know this is 36, right? And this becomes 46 by 100, right? From here we get this as 23 upon 1800, right? So basically when we have seen this, how to check what kind of a curve it is? Again, we need to compare this gamma 2 with 0. Whenever it is greater than 0, this is a leptokurtic curve. So again over here it's greater than 0. Since it is greater than 0, it is again a leptokurtic curve, right? So this is how we can find all the constants of a binomial distribution. You can also try out the moment coefficients of, you can also try out to find the first, second, third and fourth moments about being for this binomial distribution. It's very easy. In our next video, we'll be talking about fitting of a binomial distribution. I hope you like this video. Do subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.